तव कथामृतं तप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमंगलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भुविदा जनाः. Let us resume our discussion on Sri Ramakrishna's spiritual discourses with his intimate devotees at Dakshineshwar temple premises on Sunday, the 22nd of February 1885, on the occasion of his public celebration of birthday. While Sri Ramakrishna was alive, he used to celebrate his birthday twice a year. One on the birthday as per the almanac. He was born on Falgun Shukla Dvitiya. So it used to be usually held on weekdays. Now on weekdays, the devotees who are engaged in the various activities, professional duties, they will not be able to participate in the birthday celebration. So in order to facilitate the devotees to participate in his birthday, he would celebrate it on the following Sunday, again twice. And that tradition is even now maintained in Balloon Mart and also here, that the birthday as per the almanac, Panchank Anusar, and then the following Sunday for the convenience of householder devotees. This is significant because Sri Ramakrishna is an incarnation of God, specially concerned for the householder devotees. It's a new dimension of the God's appearance. So far, God used to appear and speak, give one uniform SOP, standard operating procedure, sadhan, single sadhan to be followed by one and all, and that is the path of renunciation in accordance with our scriptures. Our scriptures say, Upanishads say, Tyage naike amritattva manashuhu. By renunciation alone, immortality has to be attained. So they wouldn't make any compromise on that eternal wisdom. So whoever you are, you may be a sannyasi or a householder, or a student, or a housewife, you have to follow the line of renunciation in order to realize God. This is the procedure. Now this time, Sri Ramakrishna is having a separate package for the householders. This is a unique feature. As I said, celebrating the birthday specially designed for the householders. It is unheard of. Nowhere it is done. So today is that public celebration for the convenience of devotees. And here his Tyagi Juvao is also invited. All are invited. But especially this day is for the householders. So this topic is more relevant for the householder devotees, because whatever he says is to be followed under the given constraints of professional life. He is not compromising on the values or spiritual values of life, but he is telling us how it can be implemented under given constraints. He knows the limitations of the householders. So, with these limited the structure, they are being advised how they can steer clear and realize God with equal competence, equal efficiency as others. That is the unique message for this advent of Sri Ramakrishna here. And his conversation with Surendra is extremely interesting. Surendra is a close devotee of Sri Ramakrishna, householder devotee, and he is a specimen, typical example of a householder, which correlates with any other householder devotee even today. Now, first of all, he told Surendra that you are doing a wise thing, that you make a lot of charity, that we have all discussed. The charity he is extolling because when the householders make an earning, then that the money earned has to be purified for the use for divine purposes. You say, the new way he is explaining, it is already there. He is not telling any new method, but his way of explanation makes it more relevant for us. Why we should donate, why charity should be done. Now, we know there is a term in the modern medical technology that sterilization, autoclaving. When you go for an operation, the instruments have to be sterilized, autoclaved, purified. There is a system of the steam vapor. It has to go through this process of sterilization, then it becomes pure. Whatever contamination is attached with those equipments, with this knife, all the equipments used in the operation theatre, they are purified, sterilized. The term is autoclaved. So they are purified for the next cycle of operation, and then again it is autoclaved for the subsequent operations. Now the money, dhan, earth, whatever is earned, that has to be purified before offering to God. This is a new idea he is giving, and especially for Surendranath. Now, how his earning is contaminated, that has to be understood. It's not that whatever we earn is we earn in a wrong way, but in a householder's life, when he is placed in this world, we cannot expect that the environment will be ideal. It is easy to think that everything will be as per my way of life, but the world is not like that. The world is different. We have to swim across the current. So Sri Ramakrishna's message is extremely practical. He is not giving any imaginary or these impractical suggestions. We have to remain in this world and we know our environment. We know how the world is full of debauchery, is so much of falsehood everywhere. With this environment, how can we steer clear? Sri Ramakrishna is specifically telling Surendranath that without any this reservation, is clearly telling that you tell lies, whereas the SOP is Satyam Bada Dharman Chara. Stick to the truth. Satyameva Jayate Nanitam. It is in our national flag, national emblem. Satyameva Jayate Nanitam. Truth alone triumphs, not untruth. That we all know, we want to practice. But when we look around, we know how much is truth present within and without. Let us be practical. We cannot expect that everyone around us will be following the path of truthfulness, will be honest, will be discharging their duties with integrity. It is desirable, but it is not practical. So that's why Sri Ramakrishna says, point blank to Surendranath, he was working in a merchant's office. He was earning a lot of money as a responsible post, and Sri Ramakrishna was receiving his gifts, his money for his use. Now Sri Ramakrishna was the person not to deviate from truth. He was truth personified. Satya Sandhyasya Bhaktasya. He is truthfulness personified. Now he is telling how he is correlating with Surendranath, who's involved in falsehood. How they are bridging the gap is important, interesting. He says, I know that you have to tell lies in your office in order to maintain your job, which is the present scenario nowadays. You may be honest, but you cannot expect a honest environment around you. Then how to adjust? We cannot get an imaginary world. We have to adjust ourselves, our norms, our ways of life amidst the existing scenario. She says that I know you tell untruth, but even then I accept your services, I accept your money. Why? He's asking. Because you do lot of charity. When a person is doing lot of charity, then the money earned, where everything is not clear, not white, he is not encouraging to earn black money, but he is insisting that whatever you earn has to be sanctified with the spirit of charity. When you share your money for the benefit of others, then the money earned becomes purified, and with that money you can serve the divine. Divine will accept, not otherwise. So this is one way out, how to make adjustment with the world. This is one way he suggested that we already discussed earlier. Now next he says that you have to spend some time for the thought of God. Now this is again a practical problem. Now when we take initiation, our Guru says you have to meditate. You have to repeat God's name and a fixed number of times we have to tell our beads or count the God's name. But most of the time it cannot be done. Let us be frank with ourselves. Those who are full-timers, those who are engaged in the sannyasins, full-timers to live in their monasteries or mutt, they are full-time to concentrate on God, meditate. But those who are working day and night in the practical scenario, then for them regular meditation may not be possible. Those who are doing they are to be extolled, they are to be appreciated. But those who cannot do, what is the way out? So Sri Ramakrishna is here to give a solution for one and all. He is not here to redeem only those who are practicing and trying sincerely to realize God. Those who are not able, those who are engaged in householder's duty, how they can realize God, that is the question here. So he is offering a package for them. That is his unique contribution to spiritual life. He is not only here for the good ones, those who are good, those who are practicing sincerely, so they will go on their own way. But those who are backbenchers, those who are not able to do due to their mental reservations, due to their professional constraints, what is the way out? So now take this specific example. How Surendranath is meditating. And you compare, most of us are, those who are engaged in heavy duty, they will be doing the same thing. Now Surendranath is telling, I cannot meditate well. Now that is a very common experience to be shared by one and all. Hardly anybody will be there to stand up and say that I become absorbed in meditation. The experience is being shared for one and all, what Surendranath is telling point blank. He is confessing before Sri Ramakrishna, I cannot meditate well. But what he does instead, he is telling here, I repeat the Divine Mother's name now and then. Lying on bed, I repeat her name and I fall asleep. Now that is the situation in most of us. We are busy, we are exhausted, we are tired, and as soon as we sit for meditation, then naturally we fall asleep. There is a drowsiness. Now, in our younger days, we used to share the same experience, that when you sit for meditation, you would fall asleep, and we get a good scolding by our seniors. They would tell us point blank, have you come here to sleep, or you have come here to realize God? Sleep was never encouraged. Sleep should not be the cause for our lack of meditation. We were given a lot of disciplines, lot of methods how we can conquer sleep, that eat less and do this. There are a lot of methods how we can overcome sleep. So we were thoroughly scolded. The sleeping is not permitted during meditation. Now, what Sri Ramakrishna said to Surendranath, it is most interesting. Surendranath is telling that lying on bed, I repeat her name and fall asleep. Sri Ramakrishna says that is enough. बहुत अच्छा करते हो. You remember her, don't you? देखिए ये जो दिया है, it is unbelievable that a person is falling asleep. मैं अच्छा ध्यान नहीं कर पाता, बीच बीच में मामा कहता हूँ और सोते समय मामा कहते कहते सो जाता हूँ. श्री रामकृष्ण, ऐसा होने से ही काफ़ी है. माँ का नाम लेने से तुम सो जाते हो, अच्छा है. स्मरण मनन है तो ना. देखिए, दिस इज द यूनिक कंट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ श्री रामकृष्ण. ही कम्स डाउन टू द लेवल ऑफ द डिवोटीज and holds them with her hand and takes them to the divine. He is not sitting on the top of an ivory tower and dictating, which the people cannot do. He is giving the practical example, practical solution, that those who are not able to meditate, what they can do. This is the package for the devotees he is offering. This is not meant for all. Those who are able to meditate, let them go ahead. Fine. Those who are not able, what should they do? He is telling that is enough. It is enough that you remember. So he said, I remember mother and fall asleep. So at least he is falling asleep with the name of the Divine Mother, not playing with his mobile. Most of us play with our mobiles and fall asleep. That is not recommended. He is trying to meditate, but he is not able to do. And why is he lying down? He is physically tired. He is not able to sit for meditation, sit erect. He is lying on the bed and repeating mother's name, but naturally, because of exhaustion and mental strain, he is falling asleep. Now what he says, Sri Ramakrishna, that if you repeat, if you remember him, that is enough. That is most important. ताहली होलो, सो जाते हैं, ठाकुर क्या बोल रहे हैं, ताहली होलो, ठीक है. It's unbelievable. He is falling asleep. We thought he'll be getting good scolding. That you have taken the name of God and falling asleep. He says enough. But স্মরণ মনন তো আছে. You have to remember God now and then. And then he says that manojog and karmajog. Now first of all, let us spend a few minutes on Sri Ramakrishna's discipline of smaran manan, remembrance of God. Each word of Sri Ramakrishna has to be accepted and cogitated with great insight. He is God. His words are infallible, having deep penetrative meanings. He is telling, no matter what you do, if you remember God, that is enough. Now we know in the Bhakti school of thought, there are 9 ways of achieving devotion to God. Navadha Bhakti is told in Bhagavatam. There are 9 ways by which we can get attached with God through devotion. 9 forms of devotion, Navadha Bhakti. First is Shravanam. Next is Kirtanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnuhu. 9 varieties are there. The first and the best is Shravana. You hear the name of God. And then next is Kirtanam, you chant the name of God. Now we have been given this wonderful body-mind complex. Let us analyze ourselves. What are we made of? Our body and our mind. We have one physical body which is seen before a mirror. शीशा के सामने जिसको दिखाई पड़ता है वो हमारा स्थूल शरीर है, physical body. We have got eyes, ears, nose, hands, feet, etc. And within this physical body we have a subtle body, Sukshma Sharir, which is mind, which is not seen, but can be felt. What we are is due to our strength of mind, not by physical strength. We have a physical mind, physical body, and we have a inner mind, which is Sukshma Sharir. And we are a body-mind complex. Now what he is talking about, we have to engage both of our body and mind for the pursuit of God. Now this manana is done by the mind. So whatever we may be doing with the physical body, it is immaterial. But a portion of the mind should be kept engaged in the thought of God. That is called smarana. Now, Shravana is engaging your physical body, this ear, the physical body. We have got these 11 indriyas. We have 11 organs through which we perform. 10 external organ, 1 internal organ. That is our system. Let us analyze. We have got 11 indriyas. Ekadash indriya, 10 bahir indriya, 1 antar indriya. This bahir indriya, there are 5 organs of work, 5 organs of knowledge. Pancha karmendriya, pancha gyanendriya. Let us take an assessment of what we are. Every one of us have these 11 indriyas. 10 Bahirindriya, 1 Antarindriya, 10 external organs, out of which 5 are organs of work, Karmendriyani, and 5 organs of knowledge, Gyanendriyani. What are the Karmendriyas by which we work? Karmendriya means our organs of work. They are Bak, Pani, Pada, Payu, Upastha, 5. Speech. By speech we work. We do most of our work through speech only. The speech is one organ, our external organ. Then hands. By hands we work. By feet we walk. So Bak, Pani, Pada, these are the 3 main organs of work, and Payu, Upastha are 2 lower organs by which our maintenance of the body is done. So these are the 5 organs of work, and there are 5 organs of knowledge, which are this our shrotra, our this organ of smell, organ of hearing, organ of touching. ये 5 है हमारा जो ज्ञानेन्द्रियानी, जो त्वक, श्रोत्रम, then our jiva, त्वक, this sparsha, then our by touch, that is our tvacha, our skin. These are the organs of knowledge. Now we have 5 organs by we hear, we smell, we see, we taste, and we touch. These are the organs of knowledge. Now with these we work, and there is one organ of thought, mind. Mind is Antarindriya. These are the 11 indriyas. Now the Shravana is done by our Karnendriya. Karnendriya, by ear we hear, and the seeing the glory of God with our Magindriya, Vagindriya. So Vak or Karna, these are the 2 external organs through which we gain devotion. But these 2 organs are limited. Our physical capacity is limited. Out of these 11 indriyas, 10 indriyas, 10 organs are having limited capacity. We have only a pair of eyes. We cannot see continuously. We need rest. So, but mind has unlimited power. Mind's power is not limited. Mind has unlimited power, but physical capacity is limited. So, Shravana and Kirtana we cannot do for a very long time. You have to give breaks. Whereas Marana is the thought, remembrance is done with mind only. That can continue without limit. That's why he says that if the householder devotees do not have time to hear about God or sing about God, they may not have time, but they can nevertheless remember God wherever they are. That is enough. This is special, and it is also the higher form of achieving God. It is beyond Shravana Kirtana. And in the ladder of Navada Bhakti, where is said, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Pada Sevanam Archanam Bandhanam Dasyam Satyam Atma Nivedanam. So Smarana is a very powerful tool by which we can acquire devotion to God. That is prescribed here. Smarana. Then he says a twofold method here, which we discussed in part in our last interaction 2 weeks ago. Our last interaction was the 16th of October. 23rd we didn't have a meeting. It was the day before the Diwali. So there we mentioned this. Sri Ramakrishna is saying there is a twofold method to realize God. That is Karma Jog and Mano Jog. Now what is this Karma Jog? Now, we normally think that the work which is done in our professional field, that is Karma Jog. And what we do for the spiritual life, that is Mano Jog. That is not true. Whatever we do with our body, that is body mind, that is Karma Jog. That's why Sri Ramakrishna is categorizing what is Karma Jog. Parishkar bataya. There are two kinds of yoga. Yoga means union of the devotee with the divine. Method. One is through work, another is through mind. The union of God with the divine, with the devotee through work, this is one method. And what are these works? To perform following the Guru's instructions, such as pious acts of worship, pilgrimage and service to living beings, is called Karma Yoga. So whatever you follow, spiritual practices, as per the instructions of the Guru, is Karma Yoga, is not Mano Yoga. Let us not have any doubt in this. Parishkar bata diya. Mano Yoga or Karma Yoga, puja, which we think is a spiritual practice, that is Karma Yoga. पूजा, तीर्थ, जीव सेवा आदि तथा गुरु के उपदेश के अनुसार कर्म करने का नाम है कर्मयोग. You do seva, you do help others, you do work, professional or domestic, whatever you are doing throughout your day and night is कर्मयोग. जनक आदि जो कर्म करते थे उसका नाम भी कर्मयोग है. और योगी लोग जो स्मरण मनन करते हैं उनका नाम है मनोयोग. The two varieties. Let us have very clear understanding what is to be done. मनोयोग और कर्मयोग, पूजा, तीर्थ, जीव सेवा इत्यादि गुरु उपदेश कर्म करार नाम कर्मयोग. जनक आदि जे कर्म करतें तार नामो कर्मयोग. যোগীরা যে স্মরণ মনন করেন তার নাম মনোযোগ. The two things, one is remembering God That is Manojog, where the body is not involved. You sit in a place, you quietly repeat God's name or think of God. That is Manojog. Or you do your work, various duties, your worship, your seva, whatever you are doing, that is Manojog. But now, whatever we do, that itself is a method to realize God. We have to understand. This Karma Yoga means it is a way to realize God. What normally we think that whatever is doing, that is counterproductive, that doesn't take us to God. Only our thought of God is only important thing in life. That is not true, because the householders have to spend most of their time in doing their work. So Sri Ramakrishna's advice is to convert your work into worship by a mental orientation. The work becomes a method to realize God. It's not part-time, it's a full-time attachment. That whatever we do becomes a way to realize God. That is called Karma Yoga. So converting our work into yoga is called Karma Yoga. And whatever work is in the office, in the house, wherever, throughout the day and night, including our spiritual practices, is called Karma Yoga. That will lead us to the divine. That is enough. And Janak is the king. He is doing this statesmanship, the work of running a kingdom. So that work also becomes a method to realize God, to make connection with the divine. And the yogis, they do not do work. They sit in a place, either in a cave or a jungle, and meditate as per the norms of the Raja Yoga. Jamaniyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhi, ityadi. So that is only concentrating the mind, where the body is kept at rest in the process. So this is meditation. Now Surendranath says, I cannot meditate. That is, then Manojog is not meant for me. The meditation is not the only way. That's what Sri Ramakrishna is saying. Meditation is not the only way. Karma Yoga is there. So whatever you do with the remembrance of God. This is the golden solution. As he gave a solution how to purify your money, you earn money in as best way as possible, and whatever the contamination has been made in the way of earning money can be purified by making the charity. Then the money gets purified. You have an intention, but sometimes even without intention you are forced in a situation where things are not under your control. So that can be overcome by making a charity. When you have an intention of remaining good, God will place you in such an environment so that you can reach God as early as possible. So here also, whatever we do will become purified when it is connected with the thought of the divine. Let us do our work. But with this, some remembrance of God should be added. Then the work becomes purified. The work becomes a yoga. That's what he said, that you do whatever you want, but remember God now and then. So when they say, I am remembering God now and then, but I fall asleep. So he said, never mind, that will be enough. Swalpam apasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. A little effort will be enough, because God is behind us. He knows our capacity. He doesn't expect a tall order from us. Whatever effort we do, that is enough. Now, whatever Sri Ramakrishna is telling here is not any novel idea, but his uniqueness is to presentation of the old scriptural truths in an understandable fashion. This is even the old scriptural truth. In the Bhagavad Gita, the similar thing has been explained by Sri Krishna. In chapter 8, verse 7, Akshar Brahma Yog. Chapter 8, verse 7. What the advice Sri Krishna is giving to Arjuna. Now Arjuna was perplexed what to do. He is faced in a battlefield where he has to do or die. Either he has to kill or he offers his life. Either he has to die or to kill others. That is his job there. He has to kill his enemy. Now, where is the relation of spirituality here? That's what Sri Krishna is telling. This becomes a spiritual endeavor. And his advice is that what is to be done, that is, some people say this is the gist of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita 700 slok, this is the summary message, one verse. Gist of Bhagavad Gita, verse 7, chapter 8. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmara yuddhacha. Tasmat Atev, after telling so many things, Sarveshu Kaleshu, all the time, incessantly, Nirantar, Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha, remember me and fight. Whatever work is given to you is like a battlefield. You have to face the situation and discharge your duties. While doing the same, remember me. Two things together. You have to do your work as best as you can, but coupled with a remembrance of God as far as possible. Simple thing, both. Why is telling both? Karma bhi karo और स्मरण भी करो. ये बोले स्मरण मनन करना, which is important. कर्म भी करना पड़ेगा. So both is a combined package. He is telling to householder devotees. One was for the yogis, Mano Yoga. Another was like Janaka, he is a Karma Yoga. But for householder devotees, a combined package. As is said by Sri Krishna, Ma Manusmana Yuddhacha, and Yuddha bhi karna padega, Anusmaran bhi karna padega. Why? That's what he is saying. That Atmendriya Manobuddhi. So, जो तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु माम अनुस्मर युद्धच मय्यर्पित मनोबुद्धि मामेव यस्य असंशयम्. Now we have two faculties, as I said, in our subtle body, mind. There is a man and buddhi. Our physical body, as I said, there is our sharir, the dashendriya, that Bhag Pani Pada Paripastha and Shrotra Jiva Tak Ghan Ebang Netra, ये पंच ज्ञानेन्द्रिया. So and there is man. So this man, internal organ, subtle body, has four functions, four parts. Man, buddhi, chitta, ahankar. Chitta is the memory, smriti. Main two items are man and buddhi, and ahankar is the actualization. So when we engage our mind in the thought of God, our subtle body, man or buddhi, there are two major parts. Buddhi is the nirnaya, decision making faculty. Man is this cogitative faculty, making alternatives. Whenever you have to do something, mind prepares alternatives and buddhi makes a decision which alternative should be accepted. Now when we are engaged in work, we have to apply our buddhi. Without intelligence we cannot do any work. So when you are constantly engaged in work, our buddhi is engaged. And we know that the work is meant for God. And when we are repeating God's name, thinking of Him, then our mind is engaged. So, our mind and intellect are being constantly engaged in God. Maya Pita Mano Buddhi. So, man and buddhi both are engaged. Then what happens? Maveva Eshashi Acham Swayam. At the end, you will enter into me, where else you will go? You are now itself continuously engaged in God. आपको भगवत संगते हो रहा है ना? You are in the company of God now itself by engaging your thought and mind in me. So at the end of the work, you will be continuing to be with me. There is no doubt about it. Asamshayam. Mai arpita mano buddhi ma viva eshashi. Eshashi prapnoti. You will come to me. You are already with me. We are already in touch with God if we remember Him and do the work for Him. So at the end, we continue to be, and then he says, Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu. It's important that Nirantar Karna Padega, every moment. We cannot give any respite. We cannot give any break. There is no scope of any rest or idleness in life. Every moment is important. Every moment of life is precious. बहुत important है. Prati Murt, we have to be engaged in the thought of God and His work. Then what happens? Our mind is already engaged with God now, here and now. So, Sri Ramakrishna says that in Kali Yuga, the method is Naradiya Bhakti. Bhakti, there are various forms. One Shandila, then Vedavyas, then Garg. Every saint has defined Bhakti in some way or other. And Narada also has defined Bhakti. Sri Ramakrishna says for this age, Bhakti as prescribed by Narada is the best. It should be followed. Is the easiest. And what Narada says, what is this Bhakti? This is told in Narada Bhakti Sutra, 3rd chapter, verse 19, 319. Naradastu tadarpita akhilo acharata tad visparanne parama vyakulata iti. This is Narada's Bhakti. According to Narada, akhilo acharata, whatever we are doing, without any exception, whatever we do, that has to get a total package, nothing to be eliminated. From morning till night, whatever, akhila, all our acharans, all our conducts, tad arpita, mai arpita, Bhagavad Gita mein bataya. So whatever we do, we offer, we do it for the sake of God. Mentally, etat karma Sri Ramakrishna Pannamastu is a mental offering. Let us do whatever we are doing with all sincerity and offer it to the feet of God. Tadarpita akhila acharata. This first part, karma jog. And then, tad vispanane parama vyakulata iti. And continuously remember me. If you forget me, even for a moment, that should be a great cause of misery for you. That has to be remembered. There we miss the mark. We are doing the work. Perhaps we are doing the work as an offering to the feet of God, but we miss the mark because we are coming to the negation, we forget God. That Bispan, this Manana is most important. We have to do the work, at the same time we have to think of God also. In one, this Rabindra Sangeet, Rabindranath says, Tumare koriyachi jibaneno dhruvotara, e samudre ar kohu havonako patohara. I made you my pole star. In this life I will never be going astray because I have fixed my gaze at you and you alone. And what is the secret that Rabindranath says? Tabo mukho sada mone jagiteche sangopane তিলে কো অন্তর হলে নাহেরি কুলো কিনারা. Exactly what Narada says, that I remember you all the time, Soda, in the closet of my heart, I am with you all the time. If by chance I miss you even for a moment, tilek, even for a fraction, then nahiri kulokinara, I become lost. Parama Vakulataiti, exactly what Narada says. Tad bismarane parama Vakulata iti, tileko antar hole nahiri kulokinara. So this is the package. Go on doing the work as long as you are awake, without any break. Every work is puja, holistic approach to God. Every work connects you to the God with karma yoga. At the same time, now and then think of God, do not forget Him. Then Manoyoga, in both karma yoga and mano yoga jointly applied, then there is no doubt, asamshayam, we be definitely be with God forever and ever. There is this method is specially given to householders, that let them not try their head that they are not able to meditate. Whatever they are able to do, that is enough. Long meditation and other difficult spiritual practices are not recommended for them. Let them do the work as given by God, whatever is given, discharge their duties and think of God. Then karma yoga and mano yoga, this two in one, make them ensured for God realization. Now here he says that when I go to Kali Mandir, Kali temple, then I find that it's a new idea he is giving, Sri Ramakrishna, that Shuddha Buddhi, Shuddha Mon এবং শুদ্ধ আত্মা এক. Pure mind, pure intellect and pure Atman are one and the same. So here is giving the psychological secret, that why it is working. When we do the work for God with our intellect, then our intellect becomes pure, purified, sanctified. When we do the work for some selfish motive, the intellect is polluted. When we do the work for God, then our intellect is purified. So when the intellect is gradually purified, then we attain a stage. And when with this mind you think of God, the mind is purified. When with this mind you think of world, the mind is polluted. So as we are thinking of God, the mind is getting purified. As we are doing work for God, the intellect is being purified. And then when both are purified, they converge to a state of purity which is pure intellect. Dekhiye, how did he converge? The doing the work for God purifies the intellect. Thinking of God in our mind makes the mind purified. And then when mind and intellect gets purified, then it merges with the pure Atman. Atman is pure. So that is our goal, to realize the Atman. So with this mind and intellect, we reach a stage when Atman and this mind and intellect gets purified, then it merges with the Atman and we become God realized. That's what he says here. And then finally, he says one more thing before he concludes the topic, which is also most important in our life. Now here there is one Bhavanath, Sri Ramakrishna used to like very much with this young man, Narendra and Bhavanath. They are pure souls. He was telling Narendra and Bhavanath are counterpart. Now, he says Bhavanath that please visit me now and then. Why didn't you come so far? He is asking Bhavanath. Now, Bhavanath says, I made a plan, that I will see you once in 15 days. So that day I saw you from a distance when you came to Calcutta. So my routine is over. So that's when I am coming after 15 days. I made a plan 15 days. So once I saw you, then I thought of seeing you after 15 days only. Now Sri Ramakrishna says, first of all, why do you come so why do you come here so seldom? इतना देर करके क्यों आते हो? तू इतनी देर में क्यों आती है? इन्होंने बताया मैं 15 दिन में बाद दर्शन करता हूँ. उस दिन आपने स्वयं सामने दर्शन दे दिया, इसलिए फिर नहीं आया. What Sri Ramakrishna says, the most important point for us to remember. Sri Ramakrishna says, what do you mean? What can you gain by mere seeing? Touch and talk are also necessary. ये एक ऐसी बात ही है रे, केवल दर्शन से क्या होता है? स्पर्शन वार्तालाप से सभी स्पर्शन वार्तालाप ये सब भी होना चाहिए. This is the target the devotees should have in their front. What are we hereafter? We are being told we have to realize God. What is meant by God realization? Most of us think that seeing God for a vision, that is enough. भगवान एक बार दर्शन दे दे तो जीवन भरपूर हो जाएगा. श्री रामकृष्ण नो, दर्शन से क्या होता है? स्पर्शन आलाप भी होना चाहिए. इट इज नॉट एनफ दैट वी सी गॉड फॉर ए ग्लिम्स. वी मस्ट बी एबल टू टॉक टू हिम, वी मस्ट एबल टू टच हिम, वी मस्ट एबल टू हैव हिम with our whole heart and soul. That should be set for our goal of life. That is the most important. Goal orientation. What are we here after? Let us not think that is not possible for us. Sri Ramakrishna is making it easy for us, giving us a short package. He has come down to make it. He is telling Bhavanath, why don't you come? I am here ready to talk to you. You can touch me. He is inviting, but we are not able to go. He is inviting through Bhavanath all of us to make our approach to God, and should not be satiated, should not be satisfied just for having a vision. Vision is a part of our achievement. It is not enough to see God, we must make Him our very own. We must try to be with Him, talk to Him, touch Him, and this body will be fulfilled, body and mind will feel. That is the goal of life. We are meant for this achievement in this life, and Sri Ramakrishna is here to make it available for us. So when we have this target set, that our goal of life is not only to see Him but to be with Him, then our whole life takes a different color. Our whole life becomes oriented towards God, so that we can engage each and every moment of our life towards that goal and achieve it as soon as possible before departing from this life. That should be the goal. With this earnestness, if you proceed, definitely God will help us and make our life blessed. We'll continue further in our next Sunday class. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampaadhritavigraham vai ईशावतारं परमेशमेध्यं तं रामकृष्णं शिरसा नमामः. शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ओम तत्सत्. श्रीरामकृष्णार्पणमस्तु. Let us close with the chanting of the Lord. Please join with me. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Ramakrishna Hari Om. Announcements. Next Wednesday we have got the temple dedication ceremony anniversary and Jagadatri Puja occasion. Throughout the day and evening we will have different spiritual program, Shorashopachar Puja, Havan, Pushpanjali, Bhajan, discourses, both morning and evening, and distribution of prasad. All of you are welcome. Thank you.